What's up, everybody? Matt Farah here, and on The Smoking Tire, we are always looking for interesting bits of value in the sporting world. Now, the Porsche 911 Sport Classic sold out instantly and is currently trading for between $300,000 and $500,000. And that is a big power, rear drive, manual transmission, comfort spec touring sports car, okay? A company down in Florida called Flat 6 Motorsports has sent us this. It is a Carrera T with a manual transmission, a comfort interior, and a 715 horsepower engine, and this could be had for approximately 1/3 of the price of a sport classic. In today's video, I am going to have a go in the mountain with this and let you know what I think about it. And then our own Zach Clapman, who has driven the sport classic extensively, will give you his direct comparisons to that car, along with a bonus comparison to a GT3 Touring. It's going to be a good one today, and we're going to get to it after these quick words from today's sponsor. Guys, we wouldn't be able to make today's video without our sponsor, Rougiette. Now, you've probably heard of Cialis and Viagra, right? Of course you have. Maybe you've even tried them. But if traditional pills aren't the right fit, consider checking out Rougiette Ready. Rougiette Ready, it's different. It's a next generation prescription treatment designed to amplify arousal in the brain and increase blood flow down below. The 3-in-1 formula dissolves fast under the tongue. Most report effectiveness in 15 minutes on average, with effects lasting up to 36 hours. That means you can stay confident, present, and in control when the moment's right. Over 200,000 men have made the switch, and Rougiette's website features thousands of positive reviews, so please go check those out. Getting started is simple. Rougiette connects you with a board-certified doctor, 100% online, and if prescribed, your treatment ships just like this quickly to your door. Connect with a provider at Rougiette.com to see if a Rougiette-ready prescription is right for you. You can use code TST to get 15% off today. That's RUGIET.com, and use promo code TST to get 15% off today. Individual results may vary with prescription treatment. Compounded drugs are permitted to be prescribed under federal law, but are not FDA approved and do not undergo FDA safety, effectiveness, or manufacturing review. Please visit the Rougiette website for full safety information. And thank you to Rougiette for sponsoring today's video. Waste no time, boys. Start on the move. First gear, pedal to the floorboard. Wheel spin. And woo!
It is so fast.
Hello, Florida. Okay. When John from Flat 6 sent me an email and goes, I want you to drive this, I saw the numbers and I went, oh, well, that's going to be good, isn't it? It's the 3-liter Carrera engine, right? Which has forged internals from the factory.
It does. It's actually the same block as the Carrera S, the GTS, and even the turbo. They just bore it out for the turbo and they add a liner.
Yeah.
But same block, same size, same engine. Some of these bigger powers.
Right. And so this thing, 715 horsepower. Yowza. It is a plus 250 horse, plus 150 torque over the regular Carrera T, while picking up almost no additional weight at all. Unbelievable.
Hey, it's crazy. I mean, and now the torque, it peaks now at around 4,500 RPM. The normal car peaks at 2,000. So
right.
Our torque happens later, but there's so much more of it, and you're almost making that 300 pound-feet of torque from 2,000 anyway. So it's like, it has all the things it had before and then over-delivers later.
Right.
Crazy.
So the regular Carrera T has, I believe, 49 millimeter turbines on its turbochargers, right? And then the GTS has like 55 millimeter ones, and then this has 67 millimeter turbos. So the power band is definitely up top, but it still does make enough power to drive around on the street without it feeling like boggy, right?
100%. This does not feel like old school turbo Mark IV Supra, wait for it to build. I mean, the power does build, but the power band is really smooth. It's tuned by M Engineering.
Shout out to Mitch.
Shout out to Mitch. He tuned your Spider. He
Yeah.
got your Spider off of the addiction of octane boost it had to be on. I mean, they know how to tune engines at the highest level, and it really shows here because around town, this feels OEM to me.
Yeah.
100%, no problems with any of the computer systems, whatever.
Right.
And then as soon as you get in the power band, holy shit.
So to me, I think there's a difference between it works OEM, which it does, and it feels OEM, which it doesn't quite to me. And now that doesn't mean it feels bad, but there's some choices made here in the name of performance that do take away some things that I love about an OEM Carrera T. This has the numeric short shifter with the 7-speed. It does feel nice, but it's a lot heavier of a throw, a lot more weight. And so I know that when I'm running errands. Up on the mountain, it's all good. Down in the city, I can feel it all the time. All of the wheels and tires are 20 millimeters wider than stock. Totally makes sense. Plus, Cup 2R tires. Holy hell. Which makes sense. But it increases the weight of the steering, and it makes the car a little dartier in the city. Not bad, a focus thing for performance, but it's a compromise with the T, which is otherwise like sort of the perfect all-rounder, you know?
Sure. The T is incredibly friendly. The tires are narrower, all that stuff. I think all of those systems, all the things they've updated here or upgraded are warranted and probably necessary. I would not want narrower tires anywhere on this car.
Well, I mean, look, I'm just saying, one could have this power kit and leave the rest of the car stock, and it might overwhelm the tires, but you would have an everyday drivability that would not be sacrificed from the standard T. This is just a little bit more physical work to move the things around on a day-to-day basis. Not a bad thing, it's just the trade-off that you make for performance. We also have Olin shocks, which in this particular car are set up a little stiffer than my taste, but they could change that easily.
Yeah, it's just road and track shocks from Olin's. It's a fixed spring, and it's got like 3-way bypass valve. So when it goes over, bumps and sharp things, there's a bypass valve, so it's, softer than other suspension setups. And then obviously when you lean on it in these high-speed corners, it really firms up.
Yeah.
And I agree, around town, even in here, you can hear and feel a lot of bumps.
Yeah.
And on the highway, it's all pretty noisy. That kind of takes away from the touring side of this.
Yeah.
But when
Cup
you start
2Rs
to get
are
some,
loud also.
That's true. But when you get some energy in it, the suspension works really good. Like I can understand in Florida, the roads are smoother. They don't have earthquakes, and it's a track car. Tracks tend to be smoother with some exceptions. I wouldn't take this to Sebring.
No, but this is their dev car that they're taking to track days a lot, and so on a track, this setup is probably fine. It's just a little firm for the road.
Sure.
Honestly, I still don't like the 7-speed so much. If you got a new Carrera T, it would have a 6-speed. You could do the same thing. That would be nice. Mm-hmm. But now Zach, who went on the launch for the Sport Classic and actually has a lot more Sport Classic experience. Look at all the Cup 2s. Cup 2s is a very gravelly day.
There's a duct tape on those things.
Your takeaway may be a little slippery. Zach is going to give us a rundown on how this compares to the Sport Classic directly once we switch seats. The only thing I forgot to mention as you get ready to go is the lightness of the clutch. It uses the stock clutch, which is amazing.
When I drove this up to Good Vibes and I messaged Flat 6 and I said, what transmission's in here? Because you've doubled the horsepower almost. And they said, stock flywheel, stock clutch. So get out of here. They said they use the same one for this, the S, the Sport Classic, and according to them, it's over-engineered. Now, we can't speak to how long this would last. We don't know. But I am shocked it didn't just shred the gears on the way up the hill.
But my demand car has less power than this and a much heavier clutch pedal.
Yeah.
And so it's one of the only things about my car that I don't love is the heavy clutch pedal, but I was told it's a necessary evil. This seems to disprove that. And my next question is, will this clutch fit in my car? If you know the answer to that, leave a comment.
Let us know in the comments.
All right, Zach, off.
So incredibly fast.
Yeah.
And if the tires are cold, I learned in second gear, it lights them up. Full traction on, all that stuff. It will light these tires up when they are cold. But now they're very warm.
Now
I mean, the way it pulls, it's just all the way to red line is crazy.
But also
Is
stable,
crazy.
though, right?
Yeah, very stable compared to the the BGB Cayman we drove, and not really a diss at BGB. The Cayman is just not meant to handle 700 horsepower in so many ways. I mean, this also I think has firmer suspension than that Cayman did, so it feels more solid. But I'm really grateful they added the ducktail spoiler. One, it looks awesome, and does answer a question I asked when I drove the Sport Classic. And two, it gives us some stability. This thing is so good and so amazing. Like, everything about it feels even and balanced. Like, yeah, they turned the power up by almost a factor of 2, but it doesn't feel like it's upset the chassis or it's gonna fall apart or fly off the mountain. I'm so impressed with the usability in every way. And the brakes are great. They're PCCB calipers. They're the carbon ceramic caliper, but they put a steel disc from GyroWorks on it, and the pedal feels awesome. And they've got fluid and hoses and all that shit.
I think the discs are from France, and I think it's pronounced Girodisc.
A Girodisc?
I think it's a Girodisc.
It's a Girodisc.
It's a Girodisc. I stop your car and then I take your woman.
Oh, look, I'm used to the Giro helmet. Okay, so Sport Classic.
Okay, tell me about that.
When I drove that car, so nice. Sure, great touring car, but I remember getting out of it and thinking, it doesn't feel that special. If I close my eyes, sure, manual shifted, turbocharged engine, but it doesn't feel crazy or unique. And I got home and there was a car in WCCS that had like the ducktail, it was the Club Sport.
Yeah.
And I looked at it and I went, if you put a ducktail spoiler on a Carrera S now, you basically get the same thing.
Yeah.
The Sport Classic has like the closed intakes on the side, but for me, it's really the ducktail spoiler and manual transmission with turbocharger. This is 100% the same thing. The difference, of course, is the Sport Classic is more opulent inside, it's quieter inside, and it's much more softly sprung. But you could replicate that for a lot less money.
Well, you just buy a Carrera T that's got a full load of options, or start with an S or a GTS that's got a nice leather interior with houndstooth and stuff, and you're there.
You are there, and if you soften up these Olins a little bit, you get the same ride. But to me, because this has this extreme amount of power, it feels really special. The Sport Classic's acceleration was GTS level, or just below turbo. To me, it was not worth the money. And I get people buy it, it's exclusive. It can be an investment depending on when you got in. But it just didn't have, I don't know, it just wasn't special enough.
Wow.
And the Sport Classic didn't have that fury. It didn't scare me a little bit the way this does. It was a really nice car, but with all of the 911's powertrains being turbocharged, it's harder to separate them by sensation.
This is so nice. I mean, and usually I have about 500 to 600 horsepower is about where I want to drive stick. Stop wanting to drive stick. I go, oh, it's too fast. I think because of the power band and the long gearing of this car, it doesn't have that frantic feeling where I go, I can't keep up with it at this power level. I feel like I can.
Totally agree with you. I think in a normal T, I wish for shorter gearing because then you have more activity.
Right.
But with this, you have so much power, you don't want to shift more than that. So for me, I don't mind the heavier shifter. In town, I like the action. It's really solid. It didn't bother me. I agree. It changes like the vibe from the T. It makes everything a little heavier and more serious, but I didn't find it distracting. I didn't find the steering to be too darty in town. And then once you're up here or at a track in the environment, all that little bit of extra weight, I think feels so natural. So
up here, I agree with you. I think up here on this road, or even like on a freeway drive or something like that, the heavier shifter, the heavier steering is no big deal. It's only in town where I'm reminded of how usable a regular 911 is as you're going.
This is usable for escaping Earth's orbit.
Yeah.
So GT3
so
touring.
fast.
I drove this up, and Misha let me drive his GT3 touring.
Yeah.
And it was an excellent comparison.
Probably felt so slow.
It did feel slow. It had a great sound, but the power just doesn't happen until 8,000 RPM, and this steering feels much more connected, much more reactive than that car did. And they were both great flavors, just different restaurants. And there's no wrong answer, except this is a lot cheaper, I think.
Well, yeah, and I mean, look, a GT3 is motorsport theater. It's about the sound, the 9,000 RPM, all the connection to the race cars, all that. This is motorsport in terms of the fact that a company that also builds race cars did it, but it doesn't feel like a race car. It's a really, really fast street car, and I like that. I think that's a lovely thing. I'm shocked at how usable it still is. This could even its current state of tune be your only car.
Sure,
easily.
Yeah.
Especially if you have different sets of tires. But you really give up almost nothing. It's still reasonably fuel efficient. It's not insanely loud. The ride we've talked about could be set however you want it.
I mean, let's go back to the thesis. The value
Yeah.
of this thing is wild, because you could get a used 911T, which is a great car, even on
for
its
the
own.
low 100s. And this kit,
It's 20 to 30.
The engine's 20, suspension, shifter, wheels and tires. Add that piecemeal as you want, but let's call it 25 grand for 250 Porsche horsepower. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I was driving in town and I saw a McLaren go by, and my dumb 16-year-old brain kicked in. And I was like, I should go race that guy.
Yeah.
Because I have the power for it.
It really is like that. And it's a very engaging and fun car. But
really good.
Despite what the power number says, it really doesn't feel like it's going to get away from you. It's not scary. It's just speed. It's good.
Yeah, it's
very
great.
nice. Very, very sure-footed. I like it.
Well done.
Shout out to Flat Six Motorsports out of Florida for sending us the car. Really a lovely thing. Thanks to you guys for watching today, and we'll see you next time. Bye. And don't forget, always fight your tickets. Go to offtherecord.com/TST for 10% off all legal services from Off the Record.